Let's move on to our next topic as we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. 2-0 on the season after a 26-25 win over the Cincinnati Bengals in Arrowhead this Sunday evening. Harrison Butker hitting the game-winning field goal right at the death after a penalty call, which we're going to get into because I have some strong feelings about this. But what I've noticed around this Kansas City Chiefs team is a change of discourse recently. This is a team who had the lovable Andy Reid, who had Patrick Mahomes, the greatest quarterback I've ever watched play the game of football. I know he's not Tom Brady, but from a physical tools perspective, I've never seen anyone better at it. They had these lovable players, this great scheme, Steve Spagnuolo. They were a little bit underdog. You know, they hadn't been to a Super Bowl since they hadn't won a Super Bowl since the 70s. Like, there was so much to like about them. And a little bit like the Patriots of the early 2000s, who were an underdog who came through and won it out of nowhere. We're now 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years into this dynasty, and suddenly people are a little bit sick of the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you see it, Phoebe? Do you get why the people are seeing this as the evil empire now at this point?
Yes, nobody likes winners. that is ultimately it. We want to see it, but then when it happens, we're like, oh, no. We need somebody else in there. But it's because of what they're able to do. I mean, look at even the past couple of games, right? First game, they almost lost that one. Second game, they come in. And even then, 3 turnovers in the game, and you still manage to win it. People do not like winners, but there's a really high chance that they could actually do it. They're in a much better place at the start of this season than they were last season. With more pieces of the puzzle, you bring in Xavier Worthy, who is just opening up the offense completely for them. And people don't want to see it, ultimately. They want someone new out there, like maybe a Bills, like a Bengals, but they want to see somebody else.
But as much as that's all true, and no one likes a winner, and everyone hates a United or a Liverpool of the 80s or a 49ers, a Cowboys, people don't like the same thing. Yeah. For me, this organisation have done some things which call into question where they are. In the same way with the Patriots, in the same way they had this always must-win mentality. The big number one key for me is when I'm watching Rashee Rice make big plays for this team, when the NFL make a decision to not put this guy on the list, on the exempt list, because he has got so many federal charges coming his way over a driving incident where he was very, very lucky to not kill somebody. When this happened with Henry Ruggs, and he did kill somebody in a tragic and horrible situation, he was out of the NFL immediately, as he should have been, and he was in jail not long afterwards. They like to use this exemption list for people who are involved in things like domestic violence and things that look very bad on the league. I think by having Rashee Rice stay in that lineup, I actually think by having all of the nonsense in the background with the Taylor Swift of it all and the Travis Kelce of it all, which has never been something that bothers me, but for a lot of NFL fans, they're just a bit exhausted of it at this point. And that way that they find a way to win, but not always in a way that is enjoyable or something to get behind. I don't know, Brian. I think that they are a team who have become unlikable.
I'm going to be completely honest. I could not disagree with you more on this one. Look, I think we're also not mentioning a key name again. We're not mentioning Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift changes the entire conversation with the Kansas City Chiefs. They went for the team that had the great quarterback and everyone liked Kelce as a player. And then people this is a fact, NFL fans either absolutely love that Taylor Swift was around or they absolutely hate it. And there is no in between. So the second that the most popular person on planet Earth jumped on your bandwagon because she was dating the star tight end, that changed the overall narrative, the overall conversation about the Kansas City Chiefs. I still look at Patrick Mahomes, though. I look at Andy Reid. They're the best of the best. Absolutely. I can't hate on Patrick Mahomes. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are unlikable at all. They are really, really, I actually think it's a testament to Andy Reid. He's more like Bill Belichick right now. He can come in and you can take out your star running back. You can take out your star wide receiver. You can change all the pieces, and he can still find a way to win. I think that NFL fans are tired of seeing Taylor Swift and the Chiefs and getting, and it's filling up their news line, and it's Travis Kelce, and what are they wearing? They're tired of that. I think that any NFL fan out there respects, and how can you not respect Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback?
So I do, obviously. I love Patrick Mahomes. I love the Chiefs. There is always this thing with teams that are getting everything go their way and managing to find a way to win, where people will start to point to every little decision. And we've not really talked much football in this conversation. It's all been a bit of fun and a bit of kind of looking at all the outside factors. But actually in the game itself, they are outplayed by the Bengals for 99% of that game. Cincinnati should win that game of football. We have a situation where there is a fumble on the field from Joe Burrow, which, despite the fact that we have 8K cameras and Spider Cam and like every piece of technology available to us, I've still not seen an angle which convinced me either way whether that was the right call or not. And the referees on the field take a complete and utter age to make the decision. They don't actually call it. It was just an utter mess, which in a national game is embarrassing. But even more so for me, and this isn't necessarily a Chiefs thing, this is probably more just a personal issue and a bugbear. I hated the call at the end of the game. The call that basically killed this game off, that put Harrison Butker, who, by the way, is another reason this team is unlikable after his feelings on women, but put Harrison Butker in a game to go and win, a position to go and win this game, because they get the pass interference call on Cincinnati rookie safety Dejon Anthony. He goes up for a challenge with the aforementioned Rashee Rice. And this is just more of an issue I have with football in general. Flip that play around. Make Dejon Anthony the guy who is backing into position, who is going back towards the ball, who's not looking over his shoulder, and make Rashee Rice the guy who's coming over the top to win it. If he makes the catch, do you know what everyone is saying? Oh my God, unbelievable play. The rule book literally states, and I'm going to quote this, and this is nerdy, but I am going to quote it. When the ball is in the air, eligible offensive and defensive receivers have the same right to the path of the ball and are subject to the same restrictions. That play should never have been a flag. The Chiefs should have lost this game, and the Bengals should be calling it Burrowhead again, not Arrowhead.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, right? They both have equal right to the ball. The problem they're going to say is that Anthony jumped basically a little bit too soon. So it was coming through the back of the player when he batted
when the ball arrives at the catch point, he's at the catch point because he has jumped to make it. Rashee Rice has backed into him. It's not to keep labouring the Premier League comparisons, it's Harry Kane winning free kicks on the edge of the box by not actually going for the ball, but by just nudging into a defender. And that's exactly what he's doing. I don't think that Anthony has done anything wrong in that situation.
When I saw it, I felt like he had done something wrong. I felt like, look, they've taken a shot at a rookie guy. They know that they're going to be able to kind of challenge him a little bit.
It's a smart play.
I thought it was a smart play.
And then the game didn't. It'd be different if we're talking about a touchdown situation. Did your feet get in? The game did not come down to that. I agree with you, Will. Cincinnati had that game. They should have won that game. I would actually say if I have a bigger problem, it's about your superstar wide receiver, Jamar Chase, who's getting into it with the refs, who's Joe Burrow, your gazillion-dollar quarterback, is having to pull him away. They're fighting on the field. That showed to me that if it takes everything to beat the Chiefs, you have to have your A game. You have to be on it. Cincinnati, they dropped the ball. They should have won that game, but you have your quarterback fighting with your wide receiver who hasn't been paid. That, to me, looks like you're not in sync. You have to finish. Cincinnati did not finish. I'm not blaming the refs for that one. I'm blaming Cincinnati and giving praise to a Chiefs team that keeps finding a way to win. I'd have no problem with that.
And I think the Bengals have a way of being ill-disciplined. If we remember last year, or the year before, I think it was, when they pushed Mahomes out of bounds late, got the penalty on that.
I think it's the ghost of Marvin Lewis is still haunting them. The Bengals have been struggling to finish and had discipline problems for 2 decades now.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I like the Jamar Chase thing, right? He's obviously very frustrated, which you understand with the contract situations going on, but you've got to be able to, and also the fact that he was double-teamed an entire game, right? For a player like that who really, he brings juice to the team when he's successful. Just because you have star athletes doesn't mean they're always going to be the ones that are able to get everyone hyped up. They normally are getting everyone hyped up because they're doing well and that brings the team with them. So I think there was just so much frustration boiling over in that point that, I think there were so many more little issues like that rather than that one moment with Anthony.
You just don't like the Chiefs. Let's just put it out there.
You
are a Chiefs hater.
That might be true.